What type of
Anyways.
YouTube videos have you been watching a lot recently? Because
poop videos mainly.
Poop videos, yeah.
About poop knives and stuff.
I've been watching a lot of commentator videos. I've been watching like Leon
Commentary?
Lush. Thank you, commentary. I've been watching Leon Lush. I've been watching Atozy only when it's something I care about. Because if it's not something I care about, I'm like, okay, Atozy, leave it.
Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah, I'll watch Philly D.
Atozy is like Philly D if he only covered like the worst stories.
Yeah.
Like the scumbag trashiest stories, because he goes in deep dives on some stories, but it's like these stories are so gross and weird,
So dumb and stupid and irrelevant most of the time.
Yeah, they're like YouTube drama shit.
And yeah, stuff I didn't even know was drama until he makes a video about it. I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I've been watching Donut Media, which is car stuff, and then also I've been watching a lot of Logan's vlogs and Mike's vlogs. Those have been really fun to keep up with.
What about Cole the Corn Star?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching this guy named Cole the Corn Star, and I'm so intrigued. He's a 22-year-old fourth-generation farmer from Iowa that does soybeans and corn, and it's just like he does farming stuff and then like other stuff too. Like his grandpa was a hoarder, so he had to he cleans out. So he inherited his grandpa's house, so now he's like cleaning out his grandpa's house and like the junkyard that the grandpa like put next to the house and like all this crazy stuff. And he's like working on tractors and semi-trucks and riding dirt bikes, and I like it because it has nothing to do with my life in any way, shape, or form. And I think that's probably why a lot of people also watch Wheels2Walking that are able-bodied, is because it's just a look into a life that they would never have access to at any other time.
Totally.
Like there's no other time. And the Cole the
You're
Corn
like,
Star,
why am I watching this at 4 a.m.? I'm not in a wheelchair and I don't know anyone in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
And the thing is, he does a good job with his characters. Like his dad, they call him like Daddy Corn Star. He'll show up and do like for like 4 or 5 minutes in the vlog, and then even like his girlfriend will pop in and like she'll do some stuff for a while, and it's a family thing. It's pretty cool. And
I need to start watching him.
They definitely, their brand integrations are totally like against FTC guidelines. Like,
oh, really?
For sure. They don't.
What do you mean? What do they do?
They don't say this is an ad, this is sponsored by, and then like they advertise to kids sometimes. Like they were like riding around this like, motorcycle or whatever. Dirt bike. And they were like, listen, kids, if you're 7 or 8 years old, just talk to your parents and be like, Mom, Dad, please get me one. Like, you're at the age where you can actually drive one. And, or a new technology they'll install on their,
tractors
or their combines or whatever it is. They'll have the company that installed it come in and like talk about it. And it's like, I know what's happening because I'm in this world. But never at one point they were like, this is brought to you by, this is sponsored by, this and this and that. They just will show off like all the features and
it's kind of such a gray line with the advertising stuff.
Well, I think the farming world, the farming industry, they have to become really clever with how they make money, because farming on its own is not lucrative. Like, you have to also add all these other things. So for example, like the YouTube channel is a part of their income. They dig graves for like 18 different cemeteries. Like, that's a part of their income. They do other jobs around town
with their equipment
with their equipment that's not specific to their
digging graves. Would be so weird, bro. Like, it would just trip me out at first. I'd be like, there's about to be a dead guy in this hole.
You ever seen a dead body?
Like at an open casket?
Yeah.
It's
fucking weird, dude.
As hell.
I hate it. I
hate open caskets.
Me too, because you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's my friend, but that's also not my friend.
It wasn't
like my friend.
Yeah.
My
like
friend,
he's here, but he's not here.
My friend doesn't wear makeup like that. My friend's facial expressions aren't like that. Like, my friend's skin doesn't look that way. Like, this is very like.
Did you ever touch him?
No,
I touched my grandpa's dead hand.
I touched my grandfather. Yeah, it was fucked up.
It was weird as fuck, because they got like rigor mortis, and they're like, they inject their veins with like stuff to make them like puff back up, kind of, or whatever. Dude, it was weird as fuck, and it was like it was kind of like the whole
it made me cry a bit, like, just to see him.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad as fuck. They're dead. They're gone, but. Yeah, it's weird. I remember when I was younger, it's so weird too, because I haven't had that many big deaths in my family. The one that happened was my uncle died when I was really young. He had a seizure and died. And I remember like being in this one room, and on one side of the room, my uncle was in open casket, and like everyone else was kind of like hanging out on the other side of the room. And the weirdest thing is that when my grandpa died, like last year, 2 years ago, we had it in the same exact room, same exact funeral home, same exact setup. So I had all these weird like childhood flashbacks.
Memories, yeah.
But it was weird because I vaguely remember it, and then like, oh my gosh, it was weird as fuck. Because I remember seeing my uncle and like just seeing him, but I remember I was short too, so I couldn't really like look up and like see the whole thing. Like I remember like my dad was like, "Do you want to see him for the last time or whatever?"
You saw him from like that
and I kind of like saw him, and I'm like, "Is that really him?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then like with my grandpa, it's like, dude, this is so weird. And it's almost kind of like with Logan Paul and the Suicide Force. It's like, yup, like, you know, like you kind of don't really know how to react, so you just kind of like go into this like weird silly mode almost. Like sometimes that's like a coping
reaction.
mechanism.
You know what's interesting?
And like I definitely kind of went into that a little bit, like because me and my brother were kind of like, bro, this is weird as fuck.
I got one for you. I laugh before I cry. Like,
yeah,
every time, like I'll be watching something sad. Like I cry in movies and TV shows all the time. I'm a little bitch, but I'll be next to Jalila.
We all knew that.
I'll be next to Jalila, and I'll just start laughing. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm like, and then I'm crying.
We've cried together, and that's happened for sure.
Yeah. Where I was like,
I think it's more because you laugh because you're like, why am I crying? I don't know. Like why am I letting this movie get to the best of me or
like
whatever?
It's almost like I can't believe it because I'll go, like it's like I literally laugh before I cry, which is very funny because why do I laugh before I cry? Who knows? Yeah. So what?
I think they're pretty like linked though, you know, because sometimes you laugh so hard that you cry. You know, like laughing and crying are like so similar. Like they're not the polar opposites of each other. They're almost like cousins or something.
Yeah, interesting.
Because like you can laugh so hard that you cry.
It's kind of
sometimes you can be so happy that you cry.
It's kind of like anxiety and excitement. Like those go hand in hand. Like if you just pay attention to what the energy is, like the energy of anxiety is kind of panic, but the energy of excitement is sense of urgency, which are the exact same feeling. We just put different names on it. So it's like you wake up really early and your heart is racing and your hands are shaking because you're ready to go grab your bag and go to the airport and go on vacation because you're just so stoked and you're so excited and you're like anticipating it the whole time, versus you wake up late for work and you're panicking and you grab all your stuff and you jump in your car and speed so you don't get in trouble by your boss, and like that kind of anxiety is, I mean, it's just different.
They're very similar, but they're different. Yeah, that is weird.
Different. It's the same emotion, different labels, and the labels are based on context.
Yeah. The weird thing about like funerals and stuff, like I definitely don't want to do open casket. That's weird as fuck to me.
I want to be cremated and planted as a tree. You can do that because
I'd be down with that.
Your nutrients
can help grow a tree.
And then you have a tree, which.
But if you're cremated, all the nutrients that you'd provide to the tree are gone, right? Wouldn't it be better to just like chop you up and put you in the ground or some shit?
Yeah, I was wrong. It's not
cremated.
It's not cremated. They put you in like this sack that is
always wanted to end up as a sack.
It's like compost. Like you compost. You become bioavailable, and that nutrients goes in the tree, and then the tree grows. So you become
nutrients for a tree.
You become the tree. So it's like if people want to come visit you, they come visit that tree. And they come talk. Like
the shitty thing is like when the tree eventually dies, or like it gets disease or like termites or something. I mean,
I mean, there's a million reasons why that could go haywire, but
I don't know how I feel about like the whole funeral situation. I think I would definitely. I want to have like I mean, I'll be dead, so it doesn't matter. But like, I think having like a cool funeral where everyone can like have like hopefully enjoy like memories and stuff.
I would like it to be more of a party than a sad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I don't want any
celebration of life.
I
don't
want
than
any religion. I don't want any prayer. I don't want any priest. I don't want it in a church. Like I don't want.
You don't want a candlelight vigil.
Like I would be very upset if after I die, someone made the decision to make a religious service. I'd be very upset.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would allow that.
I would be very, very upset if that happened. Like if like a family member or I don't know, I'd be very upset.
You hear that? Just kidding.
So
This is
yeah.
a warning.
So I mean, I'd be more into like, let's have a cocktail party with hors d'oeuvres and a DJ, and we can all just like hang around and tell stories, and
we can listen to EDM music.
Sure.
We were joking about EDM music yesterday. EDM, not music.
So before we go to the EDM music show, we have to stop by the ATM machine and write down our account balance with our ink pen.
And put in our PIN number.
We got to put in our pen number, but then we got to write it in our checkbook with our ink pen so we don't overdraft.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone got that joke.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to YouTube stuff. I've been watching this dude named Cletus McFarland.
Oh, this is the country guy who has a racetrack or something, right?
Yeah, dude. So Cletus McFarland, he's not that, like, his real name is, I don't think is Cletus.
I'm looking him up right now.
I don't think his real name is Cletus, but his channel is called Cletus McFarland, and his opening is, "Hell yeah, brother, you're watching the Cletus McFarland YouTube channel."
Oh,
and they
that's
always
cool.
say, like, "Do it for Dale," and like shit like that. Like they're like super, they live in Florida, and they're always just doing stuff with cars. Like they do tons of stuff with cars. And like modding and you would love the channel.
I'm just subscribing right now.
Yeah, you would really love it. Like he has an old 2001 Corvette that has no body panels, and they like twin turboed it and like all this stuff. Like it's crazy. It's basically a Corvette go-kart, and they've got like all these badass cars. Like they've got one that's a Crown Vic police car that says like security on the side. It's got lights. It's got the PA system. It's a full police car, but they just do burnouts and donuts with it. And yeah, it's really cool because they're also like sponsored by Nitto tires, so they can do burnouts and stuff and not have to worry about like the cost of tires. Like Nitto covers all that stuff. Like they've got partners with a bunch of companies, and yeah, they make awesome videos. Vaughn Gittin Jr. like comes over there all the time to do like donut stuff with them.
He's one of the best drifters in the world.
Yeah, he's amazing. And yeah, it's just so cool because now they actually, because before, and they actually hold events called Cletus and Cars, where it's just like a giant burnout show, where, you know, like at Hoonigan, where they have like that burnout pad that's just like a square and everyone stands around and does burnouts. They do those at shows and stuff. But anyways, so he and his team, they just bought an old racetrack that was built in the 70s called DeSoto Raceway, and they're turning it into this new place called the Freedom Factory.
DeSoto, that's in Kansas. Yeah?
No, I mean, there's a lot of things called DeSoto. He was like a discoverer. DeSoto, I think, was like a person. But it was called DeSoto like racetrack or something. It's in like Bradenton, Florida. There's also like DeSoto Caverns or something like that in like Arkansas or some shit.
There's a lot of DeSotos.
I think he was a
Magellan.
Yeah, something like that, I think. But yeah, so they're turning it into the Freedom Factory, and basically like they made this really cool video. It was on trending actually. That's how I think I saw it. It was like, we bought a racetrack, and basically they're like, we've always wanted like a place, kind of like how Rob Dyrdek has a Fantasy Factory. It's literally just a place where they can go and make videos and have fun and not worry about police or breaking the law or anything, because it's on private property and it's on a proper racetrack. And they're going to start having events like later this year, which is going to be really freaking cool. Like I actually am like, dude, that'd be cool to go down and go to one.
That's why like Logan bought the ranch.
Yeah.
It's because he lives in a place with a HOA, like in like Tanner Fox. He lives up like an hour and a half to 2 hours north of LA, just so he can live in a place.
He has like a racetrack in his backyard.
Yeah.
Like a little BMX track.
Yeah. So just so he can live in a place where there's no HOA, so they can't tell him like what he can and can't do on his property.
Yeah.
HOAs are so obnoxious.
Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode, you can click right here. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can click right here. If you want to watch more clips, we got 2 more right over here.